Morning, y'all. Well, today's adventure, I'm going to go out and try to find Sheep Bridge Hot Spring, just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, off of Bloody Basin Road. This is where I'm at right now, is Bloody Basin, just doing a little bit of cooking. Going to try to take out my Subaru Forester. It's lifted with all-terrain tires, but the road is supposed to be pretty rough, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. We'll see you down there. So on the way to Bloody Basin on that road, it's considered the Agua FRia National Monument, and there's this pretty cool place to check out, which is Pueblo, La Plata. Life at the edge of Silver Creek Canyon 750 years ago. So we're gonna check this out. It's quite a long drive from 17 to get to Verde. So and it's supposed to be pretty rough roads. It's like 35 miles or something like that. So we're just gonna take a little break and explore around here and see what this has to offer. All right, so I think that's Pueblo La Plata on that ridge there. It rained and snowed, which is making hiking a little bit more difficult now. I got cement shoes or mud shoes because they're just sticking to my feet, which may make the drive down pretty interesting as well. Like I said, it's supposed to be a really rough road. They say four-wheel drive, high clearance only. So far, I wouldn't really necessarily agree with that yet, but you know, it is definitely a Forest Service road, and it is not meant for passenger cars. You know, I have a Subaru Forester that's lifted with all-terrain tires, so we'll see how that goes. Looks like we got a little bit of a walk to get to Pueblo La Plata. My feet are getting heavier by the second. But keep pushing on. All right, we made it to Pueblo La Plata. So La Plata means silver in Spanish, and that little ridge right there, there's a canyon there for, I think, the old Silver River, appropriate name. They used to mine silver out of this area. This is, you know, Pueblo means small town or village. There's a lot of, definitely, this is, I would say, pottery of some sort. A lot of this is broken pottery here, which is kind of cool, you know. You're supposed to leave this stuff where you found it. You know, you don't want to be taking things. I know I see a lot of people on YouTube like taking arrowheads and stuff like that. This is all historic remnants and should remain here. You know, unless it's a museum or something like that, they should really just stay put. So don't take anything, y'all. So Pueblo La Plata. So here's a whole bunch more. Like, this is clearly pottery. That's man-made clay, kind of what's attaching to my feet right now. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see bigger remnants and, like I said, even arrowheads of some sorts. So this is like the framework of the houses. Each one of these little piles of rocks would have been it's like, that's a wall. And then that would have been a room of some sort. We're gonna go down to there, and we're gonna check out what's down there as well. Because I think it kind of extends a little bit further. This is super cool though. I love stuff like this. And the best part is there's nobody out here. Not a single soul. And this is Silver River, Silver Creek. You know, when I was looking over there, that's dry. But if I'm quiet enough, maybe you can hear, there's running water down there. So there must be a spring nearby. Or it could just be overflow from last rain. But now that I see there's a pipe that goes there, I bet you that's going up and that's pumping water to that tank for those cows that I passed. Well, I can see why the Indians chose this place. It had silver, there's water, and lots of clay to build things out of. So pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen so much pottery ever in one site. Maybe because not a lot of people come out here, but yeah, just absolutely loaded with pieces of pottery everywhere you look. That's pottery. That's pottery. All of it. I mean, it's pretty cool. You could easily spend a couple hours here just looking for pottery and stuff like that. But just remember, leave it where it lays. Well, I'm about to leave. No luck on arrowheads or anything like that, but tons of pottery. I did find this, which looks to be pictographs of some sort, which is really unique. It's the only rock in the area, which is unique. So it must have moved or been put here. I'm not sure. Anyways, onward, forward to the hot spring at Sheep Bridge. All right, well, I'm en route to the Sheep Bridge, and they say you need 4-wheel drive. The road's pretty muddy, so I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. But you know, if there's a point where I don't think I can pass, I'll stop. But so far so good. Definitely can't do this in a passenger car. 2-wheel drive so far, yes, but high clearance, yes. We'll see. We'll see further on down the road. I really enjoyed Pueblo, Plata. I spent an hour and 25 minutes exploring around that small place. It was probably the most untouched Indian ruins that I've been to in the United States. Just pottery scattered everywhere. You know, I'm sure if you spend a lot of time, you could find a lot of really cool stuff that could occupy your time. So far on this route, getting to Sheep Bridge, I've had to cross 2 rivers. And because of recent rain, there was water in these washes, so making it a river or a creek or whatever. We're approaching one now. We'll see if there's any water in that. No water in there. Well, I made it. I hurry up and rushed straight into the hot spring because I felt like I deserved it. Now I'm having a beer. I'm about to cook some dinner out of the back of my Subaru Forester. And yeah, enjoy the night. And tomorrow I will get up and do a video and show you the hot spring and the bridge. It's really cool. Yeah, and I have some more things to talk. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, y'all. All right, here we are, Sheep Bridge. It is pretty gorgeous. It's about 45 degrees out right now. It is December 16th. It wasn't too cold here last night. There's the car that I made it in on. Yeah, so let's go check out the bridge. This last night was really beautiful, lots of stars. Nobody was here, which is good. You know, had the whole place to myself. Yeah, and so you got lots of saguaro cactuses and stuff like that around here, which is great. There's ample places to camp. All right, the old Verde River Sheep Bridge. Red Point Sheep Bridge. So this was built in 1943. I'm assuming that hot spring was also established in 1943. Probably built by the people who built this bridge. So this was the old cable suspension bridge. Look at the wooden structure. How far out is that? Look at them bolts. Okay, so it was used for sheep. Okay, so where I camped last night is where the old ranch used to be. So, this is it. So that's the other side of the river there, and that can be accessed as well. I believe it is easier than coming in from the west, from what I've been told. Regardless, you still need a four-wheel drive or at least high clearance vehicle. After the drive last night, I would clarify, two-wheel drive can easily be done. It's got to have high clearance, and you have to know what you're doing. You know, it's all about picking the right line and stuff like that. But if you take it slow at anything in life, it should work out. Let's go check out this bridge. So it's a pretty cool bridge. I mean, I'm not sure why this was reconstructed. I mean, you can't take a car across it. I mean, the only thing you can fit across here is a bike or a motorbike. The road that you come in on, which is Bloody Basin Road, is also the Western Trail, OHV Trail, which goes the whole length of the United States. It's a complete drivable thing, which is pretty cool. But that gives you an idea of the quality of the road. There's more people using it for overlanding and exploration like this. There's definitely fish down there. It's a shame I can't access my fishing pole. I was told there was a rope swing over here, so this is the access road to get to the other side. I think it comes in through Horseshoe Reservoir, Horseshoe Lake, just south of here, which is also a pretty massive journey to get to. So you can see someone or something had walked through there. I had something come in the campsite last night. I'm assuming it was javelina, but you know, there is water here, so bears are a possibility. You're not going to find, I don't think, elk up at this elevation, down at this elevation, I should say. Yeah, it's super beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see some fishing line strapped there. All right, so there's the rope swing. I'm assuming you go there and bring it up, and or from over there. Coming from there would be kind of nuts. Doesn't look like it's that deep that you could be doing that massive of ascent. Super cool. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of kind of weird man-made structures around here. Verde River Bridge. Wow, so the bridge had to be dismantled every time after each use to prevent it from washing away if the river rose. 1978, a visitor to the Verde Sheep Bridge related Basque herders walked the bridge, checking for loose boards, and the tinkling of ledge gulls bell grew louder and moved in the direction. In a few moments, a river of white animals was funneled across the bridge. Rugged terrain on the herders stood at the base of the bridge. Huh. Look, there's all the sheep. That's crazy. So there's, if you can see, there is some structures there. I bet you there was some Indian, oh, there's a wall there. I bet you there's some Indian stuff around here. Just, you know, where there's hot springs, there's always Indian relics, remnants, stuff like that. So I don't doubt that there's some Indian stuff around here. If I had more time, I'd probably go explore it, but I'm not going to. I just was coming out here for something different, kind of a break between the holidays. Go check out a hot spring. And speaking of hot spring, let's go check her out. Okay, so we're on the center of the bridge. It's pretty windy, but to give you a vantage point, this is the Bloody Basin access road. So from Bloody Basin side, I'm on the bridge right now. That little hole, that's the hot spring right there. And in order to access it, there's a few different ways. But you can come from my car and go down and through this way. Then there's another way you can come straight down through the rocks if you're camping up on top. And then the longest way is if you have a serious 4x4 vehicle and can get over, there's 2-foot rocks and stuff like that to come down. And there's a really cool campsite over there that you could access. And you walk through, and it's a much bigger tunnel. But the problem is that's where the overflow for the hot spring goes. So it's really, really muddy. Not to say that this side isn't muddy either. It's just, yeah, it's muddier. And so you can kind of see the path that goes in there. And we're going to go check it out. All right, so right from the little cable, you can go down here. For people that aren't familiar with Arizona and the terrain of Arizona, it is pretty rough. And, you know, a lot of things are sharp and pointy and want to stick you. So I highly recommend not just bushwhacking unless you have closed coverage. Like, for example, here. I don't know if I could focus in on it. But this is mesquite, and they have massive little horns. This is Palo Verde, and those hurt too. Then we got cat's claw there. Everything is sharp. So this forest that we're going into looks a little strange, and that's because it's a bamboo forest. These are all bamboo shoots. I'm pretty sure the only reason that they're here is because of the hot spring, but there is some a little bit further down the river. The Verde River is a hot spot, so you know, there's Verde hot springs up, which are really cool. I recommend those. Maybe I'll do a video on how to get to those. It's a little bit easier accessible, and in my opinion, a little bit better of a hot spring. All right, so all this stuff up here is sharp, so you gotta stay low. I'm not completely crouching, but I'm not standing either. That's probably a 4-foot roof to ceiling. All right, so now we're approaching the hot spring. As you can see, it's a little muddy. We've had some rain and snow in the forecast in the last couple days. So, all right. So here she is. And there's the rock structure. little white thing I was talking about. You can access it up there. And then the other way to get in is down there. So you hear all that water coming out? Well, I don't know where it's coming from, but it doesn't seem like the water's going into the hot spring anymore. So sadly, it's not that warm. I mean, it's warm. You can see there is steam, but this is what you call a warm spring. It's not above 100 degrees. If it's not warm outside, you will get cold. If somebody were to come here and invest a lot of time and effort into this, it could be reconstructed and built, but there is a leak, and I can't identify where it's coming from because of this massive bamboo outcrop. You can see the steam coming from there. The source is hot. I'd say probably 100 degrees, but the water in here is probably mid-90s. I mean, you see that the water level has dropped significantly. So, not really the greatest hot spring anymore. It's a shame because it's in a really cool location. It's super beautiful. So, I think I will kind of go overview of my opinions of this place. Alright, so things to note. I don't think you need a four-wheel drive vehicle to do this, but you definitely need high clearance. That is of utmost importance. The road is very washed out, meaning there's massive rocks that are exposed, but choose the right line and you'll be fine. Would I come out here again for the hot spring? No, absolutely not. As a hot spring connoisseur, somebody that spends a lot of time at hot springs, I would say this is not worth your time and effort to come all the way out here for that. However, if you're into Indian ruins and stuff like that and want to go to a cool fishing spot or swimming spot in the summertime and get away from people, this will probably be the spot. However, I guarantee it, this place gets mental on the weekends with OHV, ATVs, and all that good stuff. So, do as you do, but I don't think I'll ever be coming out here again. Highly recommend Verde Hot Springs, and I'll do a video on that soon. See you guys out there. And the last few things I want to say is don't attempt this without a full tank of gas. Be prepared. I mean, it's very remote. If you get a flat tire or something mechanically goes wrong, you're not getting recovered out of here. You have to drive out. There's no way a flatbed or anything can pick you out. So have full-size spare. Make sure you have food, water, full gas. Don't attempt in the rain. Yeah, you'll see what I mean when you do it, because there are 1, 2, 3 abandoned vehicles. One's a Honda Civic. I don't know how that got out here. It must have been a long time ago when the road was somewhat passable. Another one's like a Chevy Blazer equivalent thereof. And then there's a trailer. So yeah, just be cognizant of what you're getting yourself into. Because if something were to go wrong, you're in the middle of nowhere. Alright guys, be well. We'll see you on the next venture. It's really just the last 10 miles of the road that are rough. So if you're having issues on the road prior to the last 10 miles, turn around.